Hello, my friends, and welcome back. The Russians continue to destroy weapons shipments in Ukraine provided by some Western countries and the United States. And in the last event or development, they destroyed a major Western weapons shipment for Ukraine defense of Donbas. This comes from the Telegraph on the 20th of May 2022. So the title is Russia destroys major Western weapons shipment for Ukraine's defense of Donbas. The defense ministry alleged that a strike in the northwestern region of Zhytomyr using sea-launched Kalibr cruise missiles took out a large batch of weapons and military equipment delivered from the US and European countries. The ministry also claimed that Russia had struck numerous Ukrainian command posts, fuel storage facilities near the city of Odessa, and shot down the two Ukrainian Su-25 aircraft, Sukhoi 25 aircraft, and 14 drones. The report could not be independently verified. Meanwhile, the President of Ukraine, Zelensky, has proposed a formal deal with the country's allies to secure Russian compensation for the damage its forces have inflicted on Ukraine during war. It says that Mr. Zelensky has warned that Russia is trying to destroy as much of Ukraine's infrastructure as possible, and said such a deal would show nations planning aggressive acts that they would have to pay for their actions. Now let me discuss two things here. First, I'm gonna Mrs. Zelensky, I think he addresses children or teenagers or people with an IQ below 86, and I'm going to tell you why. His side is entitled to his opinions and with assessments and whatever he says, but he's not entitled with forming our opinion and telling us what to think about what's occurring over there. So he can tell us his version, and we can have our version or a slightly different interpretation of reality. He is vested in the event, so he will be 100% subjective. We are not. We are subjective because all that affects us to a certain extent, so we might not like that. And on that foundation, we might sometimes lose our objectivity, but we do not have anything to gain from that. We have everything to lose from that as of now. And I'm telling you why. Everything that happens over there is not good for us. It's not going to be good for us in the future. Even if the Ukraine, let's say, wins, Russia disappears, goes away in the universe, is not there anymore. We still, in the long run, we're going to lose. And I'm going to tell you why, probably in another video, or if I have time here. So he said here that proposed a former deal for the country's allies to secure Russian compensation for the damages its forces have inflicted. Okay, let's see here. What if the Russians asking the allies and the Ukrainians for compensation? What if they ask? You say, hey, Mila, are you crazy? No, I'm not. What if the Russians said, you know what, we were forced into military action by you guys because you didn't implement the Minsk agreements, and you kept killing the Russian population in East Ukraine. How about that? And we had to intervene, and look how many damages and how much we had to lose. People, military equipment, and so on. All this because of you. No, you owe us, actually. And everything that's destroyed over here is because you did not talk, did not implement that signed international document, the Minsk agreements, correct? And then this is the result of that. So actually, you guys are the ones who are guilty, and you should pay, not us. Okay, how about this version? Oh, are you upset? But these are facts. Oh, you want to go a little bit back in time? Okay, let's go to the 2014 outside-backed so-called revolution in Ukraine that was backed by outside forces. They overthrew a democratically elected government. Was it democratically elected? It was. Was it perfect? No. Like neither is this one right here that is leading the Ukrainian fight against the hordes of the Russians. Neither is the United States. Nothing is perfect, isn't it? If we don't include other forces, you know what I mean. So actually, the Russians should demand reparations because you guys force us to come over here to defend these guys by killing them. How about that? All right. So you see, this never gonna happen. The Russians will not use that unless they are just gonna be like Russia from 1991 to 1999 under Yeltsin. Yes. And then the other one is here that the Russians is trying to destroy as much of Ukraine's infrastructure as possible. I do not believe that, especially in the occupied territories, because those territories will be, uh, how should I put it, brought back to Russia. Why would you want to destroy your infrastructure? Now, Ukraine infrastructure. If the Russians really wanted to do what these guys are saying, I can tell you, I can tell you that Kiev would have been razed and many other big towns. And as far as I know, they're not. And they have the military capability to send, I don't know, about 3,000 rockets over there, or maybe just two on each town. And if they really want that, so you see, that's not really true. And why would they want to destroy that? So they come and they will not be able to recover themselves. Correct? That's correct. Could be. Is there evidence? I don't think so. Otherwise, why would just indiscriminately just bomb towns? Just bomb them like that. Don't fall for the pictures that this guy send you from certain angles. All right? Don't fall for that. I'm not saying there's not destruction, but I do not believe that happens. Because if the Russians really want to that goal to be fulfilled, they will fulfill. They would have fulfilled it in the first 2 weeks. Not even 2 weeks. Maybe 3 days. A barrage of rockets would have flattened out all the cities in Ukraine if they wanted. They have the capability. So that means that was not taken. So if that's the case, why do they do it in a measured way? Because they don't have the capability? Why? Don't come with a childish reason here, you guys. Not you, because I know who you are. But I know who you are. I know you're my friends here. But I'm talking about people who might use counter arguments. Well, yeah, this destruction is true, but look when they destroy what they destroy, or at least what they claim to destroy. Yeah, sometimes accidents happen, as they do, and they always do, and they will always do. I remind you of the illegal bombardments of Yugoslavia by NATO, the defensive alliance. Remember, they bombarded the Chinese embassy in Yugoslavia, right? Isn't that in Belgrade? And people died over there. The destruction, and the Chinese never forgot. What did the American do? That's collateral damage. Do something about it. Nothing. So that was right there an accident, if you want to call it that way. Which, how could it be an accident hitting an embassy? It's either you just close your eyes and you push the buttons and you send rockets wherever, or you target it. It's either a mistake that, okay, oh my bad, how can it be a mistake? You don't have the coordinates, you don't know what's over there. They know, they knew. So there you have it. So accidents happen. So if we are so fast to, uh, judge some armies, then we should judge all of them by the same standards. And I don't remember United States and the NATO being made to rebuild Yugoslavia. Did you hear anything about that? Or Serbia, for that matter? Was it? They illegally bombarded that country. They were the invaders. Did they pay anything? No. So why do you ask now to these guys to pay? So you see, you just use, and this is just one example. There are many other examples. Look at Libya, what's over there. What Libya was under Gaddafi, which was, dictatorship and so on. Then, with now, look at the water shortages. Look at who's got the oil, who delivers, who controls the oil. They don't care about what's going on right now in Tripoli. Don't care, man. You can, like flies. What we carry is oil. As long as we got the oil, I don't care about you guys. Over there, you can find that tribe, with those Bedouins and so on. It doesn't really matter. That's how it goes here. So to say that, Zelensky, yeah, that should be okay in a regular situation when you are just the victim, and I don't think he's the whole victim here. I think he's still manipulated by outside forces, and otherwise he would have come to terms with the Russians in the first 2 or 3 weeks. I guarantee you that. But it's past. I can't say, oh yeah, that's my assessment. But he was not allowed to. Why? Because this favors certain interests outside of Ukraine. And Ukraine, because look at Zelensky. He has martial law over there. That means he can do what he wants. That's one thing. The other thing, he's still in power. If the Russians would have wanted to take him out, you know what I mean? They would have been able. But then, what's the purpose? You know, one doo-doo out, another doo-doo in. At least this guy is right there. Why do we bother? So we get the international condemnation. So yeah, the reconstruction. I don't know about that thing, but nevertheless, I think that unfortunately that's war. That's war, and the blame doesn't fall only on one side entirely. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.